Rahul Gandhi is back on the Hindu versus Hindutva bandwagon, addressing a full house during the Congress's show of power in Jaipur. Rahul Gandhi said that there is a clear distinction between Hindu and Hindutvavadi. He said that the country is being ruled by power-thirsty Hindutvavadis. The comments have birthed a political controversy, with BJP and AIMIM jumping in. Here's more.
आपका पूरा परिवार ये गांधी परिवार हिंदू धर्म को चाहता नहीं. You have a pathological hatred against Hinduism.
मैं हिंदू हूँ, मगर हिंदुत्ववादी नहीं हूँ. महात्मा गांधी हिंदू, गोडसे हिंदुत्ववादी.
The BJP Congress face-off over Hindutva just got bigger. Second time in a month's time, Rahul is back with Hindu versus Hindutva attacks. The big attack came in the Congress's show of power during its Mehengai Hatao Maharali in Jaipur.
देश को जनता नहीं चला रही है. देश को 3-4 पूंजापति चला रहे हैं.
Rahul launched a scathing attack on Prime Minister Modi, calling him a Hindutvavadi who can kill for power.
हिंदुत्ववादियों को किसी भी हालत में सत्ता चाहिए. ये कहते हैं मुझे सत्ता चाहिए, सच्चाई से मुझे कुछ लेना देना नहीं.
Rahul Gandhi drew a clear distinction between his idea of Hinduism with the saffron party's Hindutva.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने छाती में चाकू मारा, आगे से नहीं, यूं नहीं, आगे से नहीं, पीछे से. क्यों? क्योंकि हिंदुत्ववादी है. हिंदू अगर मारता तो आगे से मारता, हिंदुत्ववादी है तो पीछे से मारेगा. देश की राजनीति में आज दो शब्दों की टक्कर है. एक शब्द हिंदू, दूसरा शब्द हिंदुत्ववादी, और इनका मतलब बिल्कुल अलग है. मैं हिंदू हूं, मगर हिंदुत्ववादी नहीं हूं. ये झूठे हिंदू, ये झूठे हिंदू. एक तरफ हिंदुत्ववादी और दूसरी तरफ सच्चे हिंदू, प्यार वाले हिंदू.
Jaipur on Sunday became a witness to another attempt at relaunching Rahul Gandhi through his Hindu versus Hindutva speech. Clearly, the Congress has been working on a two-pronged strategy. One, to corner the Modi government over the issues of unemployment and price rise, and on the other, to try to project Rahul Gandhi as a leader of the future.
Rahul's comment drew the ire of BJP, who called it an attack on all Hindus.
Once again, Rahul Gandhi has mocked the astha of millions of Hindus by saying that Hindutvavadis can kill for power. Would he say this about any other religion or faith? This has become not a coincidence but a pattern and a design.
सबको गर्व है हिंदू होने का, हिंदूवादी होने का. इन्होंने जिस तरीके से विभाजित करने की कोशिश की, ऐसा लगता है कि वो हिंदू के खिलाफ हैं, हिंदुत्ववाद के खिलाफ हैं, राष्ट्रवाद के खिलाफ हैं.
The comments were slammed by AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi. Owaisi said that the ground for Hindutva was fertilized by the Congress, and now Rahul is trying to harvest it. A month ago, Rahul had similarly used Hindutva to target the BJP.
Is Hinduism about beating a Sikh or a Muslim? Hindutva, of course, is.
With just months left for the UP polls, all parties are eyeing to consolidate the majority Hindu vote. But will targeting Hindutva help Rahul win back lost grounds?
Today in Jaipur,
In detail, he has explained as to how he and the Congress party stands for Hinduism, whereas BJP and RSS stands for Hindutva. Well, BJP has hit back at the Congress's former president, but poll pundits are saying that the stage is set for a fiery battle before the big showdown of 2024 as far as the issue of Hinduism versus Hindutva is concerned. With the journalist Sanjeev, Supriya Bhardwaj for India Today in Jaipur.
So is the stage set for the UP elections in early 2022? Joining me today are Professor Gaurav Vallabh, Congress spokesperson, Tom Vadakan of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Manisha Priyam, political analyst, are joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, all of you. I'll come across to you, Mr. Vadakan, first. How do you respond to the distinction that Rahul Gandhi made at that Jaipur rally today, saying there is Hinduism, which follows the path of truth, of Satyagraha, and then there is Hindutvavadis who follow the path of Satyagraha. They can kill for power.
Well, this occasional pearls of wisdom that comes from the ex-Congress president is very strange. It is the same ex-president who said that Shivji swallowed the universe. Maybe he would also like to define whether Shivji was Hindutva or Hindu, like he defines and gives birth certificate or what certificate, religious certificate to Shivji, because power is the purpose. That means if he swallowed the universe according to the pearls of wisdom from the Congress ex-president, and I wouldn't like to further my argument by saying this man neither knows what Hinduism or what Hindutva stands for. It is a very vain exercise. It is a lost exercise for the elections in certain states. He believes that he can divide Hindus by Hindutva and Hindus. Lost is his case because people have realized this kind of games don't work.
Okay, Professor Gaurav Vallabh, would you like to respond to that? Rahul Gandhi is playing a lost game right now. This is all about the elections. At the end of the day, who is he to hand out certificates?
I don't want to answer the lost person questions, but one thing I would like to say, ma'am, that Hindu and Hindutva, the difference is of Mahatma Gandhi and Nathuram Godse. Hindu and Hindutva, the difference is of inclusiveness and exclusiveness. Hindu and Hindutva, the difference is of Sarva Dharma Sambhav. The practitioner Hindu religious guy will say Sarva Dharma Sambhav, Vasudev Kutumbakam. He believes in the philosophy of Rig Veda, which say Ano Bhadra Kartavyo Yantu Vishwata, means let noble thoughts come to me from all directions. But the practitioner Hindutva, who is the symbol of Hindutva? Nathuram Godse is the symbol of Hindutva.
And are you saying that the BJP is following that path?
Hindutva will say, I'm saying that. And ma'am, what the practitioner Hindutva will say? Hate other religions, spread the violence. What the practitioner Hindutva will say? That exclusiveness.
Are you accusing the BJP of doing that?
100% exclusiveness, hate other religions, hate the traditional secular thought of Hinduism. That is what Hindutva stands for. This is the ladai, this is a war of ideology. One side, Mahatma Gandhi and Hinduism.
Okay,
other side,
so
Nathuram
Tom
Godse
Vadakan, what the Congress is saying that the BJP is following the path of Nathuram Godse, the assassin of Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, interestingly, I would ask the professor to review the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. It would do him good, because it was the same Mahatma Ji who said that Congress needs to be disbanded. So I think that is one. It is the same Mahatma Gandhi Ji who said about Ram Raj. It is the same Mahatma Gandhi Ji who talked about protection of cows. Now, if all this is part of Professor Saab's, non-comprehension of what Gandhi said or what Gandhi preached, then I think his ex-president needs to review. Because, this kind of wisdom that comes to them during election time, it's too late in the day.
Wisdom during election time. Professor Gaurav Vallabh, would you like to respond to that very quickly before I bring in Manisha Priyam?
First of all, he appreciated that is a wisdom. Mr. Vadakan, I am thankful to you that you are calling this as a wisdom. Wisdom is not giving the jatis of Hanumanji, what Mr. Adityanathji is doing. What he is giving, that please don't interfere.
I didn't say wisdom.
Follow the Gandhi's policy. Follow
follow Gandhi's concept, but don't
come in between.
Pearls of wisdom. Gaurav Vallabh, pearls of wisdom is what BJP says.
Gandhiji said that spread love. Don't spread hatredness. Don't come interfere. That is what Hindutvavadi attitude, Mr. Vadakkan. Don't follow Hindutvavadi.
Okay. Let's get Manisha Priyam in. Manisha Priyam, do you think Rahul Gandhi is playing politics of majoritarianism?
Hindu and Hindutva are both politics of majoritarianism. So to that extent, if he is playing the politics of majoritarianism, those who he is labeling as Hindutva are also playing the politics of majority. So in effect, what he is doing is that he is challenging the claims of one particular party, in this case the Bharatiya Janata Party, to not be the sole claimant of the Hindu votes. And I would say it's a low day in Indian politics that it's come to name calling for the majority or the minority religion. I thought very much that politics could have been issue based, not on ascriptive identities. So on the ground, there is Jat-Pat ki politics, but on the top, there is a name calling for the majority and minority religion. Where is this taking India as a whole? That is not a theocratic state. We are different from the nations that are our neighbors, because we are not a theocratic state, because we are not a state where the military does a coup and comes to power. We are an established democratic state, and an established modern democracy is marked by its separation from religion. So to that extent, the name calling of either the Hindu or the Hindutva or of the minority community, and I don't want to name them at this point of time, is certainly something that is anathema to the idea of modern political democracy anywhere in the world. But India, not with its wealth, but with its practice of modern political democracy, which is liberal and equal, it makes its mark in the world as the world's largest democracy.
But playing as they are, Manisha Priyam, this politics of religion which is saying, when Rahul Gandhi speaks today and what you heard him speak today, do you think it's going to reap him dividends? Because like you said, the BJP has been playing this politics of majoritarianism. He's trying to, in a way, usurp their core vote bank. Is this going to work for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party?
Where the Congress is not a party on the ground, it is not clearly in the contest. So which vote is going to take away, I do not know. Maybe some from the BJP if they can come, but the BJP is not definite pole position and quite well ensconced, and this will not help there. Then there are elections in Punjab. I don't know how this can help there. In Goa, certainly the Congress party.
Right, okay. We seem to have lost the video link with Manisha Priyam. We'll just fix that and we'll come back to her and get her views on this as well. My other guests are with me. Tom Vadakkan, the Congress, it seems, as Manisha Priyam was saying, is trying to target what was the BJP's or is the BJP's core vote bank. Is the BJP worried?
Not at all. We are flattered. I mean, this desperate attempt is a desperate attempt to ensure that they are trailing somewhere, and they know it. This entire rally that was organized, I received a Twitter message from one of their general secretaries saying this is about price rise. And when price rise, where does Hindu or Hindutva come? It affects all of us. And we are concerned about it.
Gaurav Vallabh, you want to respond to that? You wanted a Mehengai Hatao rally. That was the rally, right? I mean, and then how did the conversation move to Hindu versus Hindutva? Are you playing the politics of majoritarianism because that's what you think is going to work for you in the upcoming UP elections?
No, that is what we are saying. That why this price rise is happening, because the government at the center is talking about religions. And that is what we want to say, that their approach is Hindutva. Their approach is Hindutvavadi, their approach is Satyagrahi, their approach is Nathuram Godse, their approach is hate and fear.
How are you countering their argument? If you're accusing them of playing politics of religion, you're doing exactly the same thing. You call a rally on the subject of Mehengai Hatao and then you're talking about Hindu versus Hindutva.
No. We just want to convey that what Prime Minister and what Yogi ji is doing, sometimes Samshan Kabristan, sometimes hate and fear for other religions.
But the BJP says you're handing out certificates right now. You're handing out certificates right now.
Let me complete, ma'am. So when you are having an agenda of hate and fear for other religions, when you are having agenda of violence, when you are having an agenda of hatredness, when you are having an agenda that beat the person on the road till the time he is not died, then naturally economy takes the back seat. Then naturally you are fail F grade in governance. That is what is happening, and that is what we want to convey to the people of our country.
Okay.
That Hindutvavadi soch is a divisionary soch. The idea of India is not Hindutvavadi.
Okay.
The idea of India is Hinduvadi.
Tom Vadakan, do you want to respond to that? What the Congress is trying to do is trying to tell the people that your agenda is divisive politics. That's what they want to expose.
70 years and counting. What kind of development does his Professor Saab's party and his president and subsequent prime ministers have done? What development has been done is on track. What development that has happened in this country is a miracle. And it is led by the Prime Minister from the front. That desperation is being seen here. And this is only
But the question is, who's talking about development? It doesn't seem like the BJP is talking about development. Doesn't seem like the Congress is talking about development. Gaurav Vallabh?
Our agenda is development. We are doing that. You can see it all over the place. You travel to UP, you travel to the Northeast, you travel anywhere. The highways, the projects that are being completed, the aerodromes that are coming up, the railway stations that are staying. We don't have to create anything. We are there for people to see.
No, but the conversation in UP in the elections seems to be Ganna versus Jinnah. Those are the kind of conversations. Today, Rahul Gandhi speaks about Hindu versus Hindutva just a day before the Prime Minister is to inaugurate the Kashi Vishwanath Dham as well. Manisha Priyam is back with us. Manisha Priyam, do you want to get in a word on that? The politics which is being played, which you said is unfortunate, the kind of politics which is being played, both say that we want to highlight and expose other things, we want to talk about development, but clearly the conversation doesn't seem to be about it.
Yeah, so just to continue when I lost you, as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, the Congress party is not on the ground with their cadres. In Punjab, it is clearly a place where the Sikh politics is what the Jat Sikh politics and other Sikh politics is what dominates. So this Hindu, Hindutva, etc. is not going to work there. Right. In Goa, the Congress definitely has an advantage with a coalition of the minorities that come up to support it. So how is it going to help them there? So this statement, wherever it has been made with an eye to Uttar Pradesh, and even there the advantages are not clear-cut in terms of electoral dividends.
Then why is the Congress playing this? So why it has been made,
it's a pontificating statement.
Okay.
So definitely to, lure some part of the Hindu votes back to it. But is this with an eye to 2022 or 2024? Who is going to go as cadre to reap the electoral benefits? Clearly, it's the Samajwadi party that's giving the challenge to the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. The Congress, I don't know what number player it is, but maybe 4 or 5, I don't know where it stands. I have no idea. So I can't clearly understand that why make such statements when clear electoral dividends will not come to you. If it is a normative, moral statement, then certainly not electoral hustings, but some other fora are probably the appropriate fora to be used for this. As far as the people are concerned, I can tell you, the people in state election after state election that I have seen since 2017 are raising hardcore economic and daily life issues. These things are not working. So why is there an oversupply of these type of issues of majority and majoritarianism? I do not understand. They are not working with the electorate.
Okay, they're not working with the electorate is what Manisha Priyam says. That's all the time I have on this discussion. Manisha Priyam, Gaurav Vallabh and Tom Vadakan, thank you so much for joining us on this discussion this evening. That's a wrap on this bulletin. For all the latest news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. Thanks for watching.